All right, everybody, here we go. Elon Musk has decided that he is officially taking over Twitter, and this is the first thing he is doing. Twitter is planning to start charging $20 per month for verification. We're going to talk about if this is a good idea in a second. And if their employees building it don't meet their deadline, they'll be fired by Elon Musk. The Verge is reporting that the directive is to change Twitter Blue, the company's optional $5 a month subscription feature, into a $20 a month subscription feature for verification. Under the current plan, verified users would have 90 days to subscribe or they would lose their blue checkmark, which means if you're already verified, to keep that verification checkmark, you have to pay $20 a month. Employees, according to sources by The Verge, working on the project, were told on Sunday they need to meet a deadline of November 7th, which is about 8 days from now, to launch the feature, or they will be fired. Now, this makes sense. Elon Musk has tweeted before the whole verification process is being revamped right now, and we're going to talk about why it needs to be revamped. But goodness, this is incredibly interesting. In the few quarters that Twitter reported earnings as a public company after they debuted, advertising remained the vast majority of its revenue. If they can get subscription revenue, $20 a month, that's $240 a year from, I don't know, let's say 10 million people, that's a lot of money. That's $240 million coming in without having to sell any ads. Couple of core thoughts on this. First, on the deadline. Well, it makes sense, right? Elon Musk says he wants to get into the company and he wants things to change immediately. He is not the type of guy to just wait around and say, why do we need to take 15 years to launch a feature? Twitter didn't even launch an edit button until for the past 8 years. What if we just get things going? What if we just start? What if we just do this? And hey, here's your deadline. Work harder. You have 7 days. If you don't finish it, you're fired. I mean, you gotta love the sort of general authority. Now, could it make it for a toxic work environment? Could it make the culture bad? Maybe, and that's the thing you risk. But there's also this level of like innovation. Let's go now. Let's push. Let's do. Let's keep moving forward that Twitter hasn't seen in a decade, which is why the product, to be honest, has really not improved over a decade. The only feature they've added over the past couple of years was Spaces, which is this live audio thing. And comment below if you use it. I do not use it at all. I can't for the life of me find interesting content there. A, because the audio is live, so it's really hard to find content that's live at the same time. But B, because Twitter just doesn't do a good job putting it in your face. And they got that feature from Clubhouse. They didn't even innovate on that. They copied another platform that built it, and they just took the feature. So like the fact that he's setting this November 7th deadline and saying we need to get this done ASAP because I want to start making $20 a month immediately, to me, makes a lot of sense and is pretty cool in terms of just pushing up the culture of innovation at the company and getting things done, especially when the company is now $13 billion in debt because Elon Musk borrowed $13 billion. So you got to pay that $13 billion some way, which means you got to get innovation and get new products out of the door. Number 2 is the actual process of verification. So first of all, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at AmitIsInvesting. I'll put it in the description. I would urge you to get on the platform and check it out if you are not an avid user of Twitter and just see what it feels like. The reason for this is because A, you might end up finding that Twitter is a place where there's really good content, which I believe there is. I think it has the best content in social media outside of YouTube, because there's a lot of intellectual stuff. You can get smarter reading this stuff. You can learn more things. You can meet more people. You can network. You can build a brand around thought leadership and getting your words and ideas out there. And so like there is a lot of value to the content on Twitter. The question becomes, are you willing to pay for the perception of being seen as a thought leader on Twitter? And that's why I advise you to join the platform and just kind of see what it feels like before you would even make that decision. So $20 a month would verify you as a user, which means you would have a blue verification check. That means for $240 a year, people that would want to be verified, and we'll talk about why they want to be verified, would be able to pay that money to Twitter, which means that ARPU of a user who is verified, the average revenue per user is $240, which is a lot. Meta's ARPU per user, because they don't charge a monthly fee, is $10. And it's even worse in developing countries. So it's not that easy to suck money out of a user from advertising versus if they just pay you the monthly subscription, because then you get the revenue direct. Now, the issue here is, why would you pay $20 a month? $20 is a pretty steep fee. I mean, Netflix is $16. Like, could you actually let go of $240 a year just for this? Now, I think a lot of people could. The question becomes why. The whole point of being verified on Twitter is that you have this unique identity that is differentiated from everyone else because you have a blue check mark. Now, the process for getting verified is honestly ridiculous. Twitter says, oh, it's to make sure that there's not scam and fake bots of you. I've gotten scam and fake bots of me. Do I deserve to be verified under that metric? Maybe, but like what is the actual, there are people who are like really big celebrities, millions of people that know them that are not verified. And then there's random people that have 900 followers that are verified because they have a PhD PhD or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense what the verification process is. And to get rid of the bots on Twitter, which is the biggest reason to do this, in my opinion, you could get people to pay certain amounts of money per month to verify their real identity. Once they are verified within that identity, they now are probably not scammers. Are some scammers going to pay $20 a month? Maybe, but the majority of them probably are not going to do that. So if you got 200 million active users and you get even 10 million of them to pay $240 a year, that's $240 million off of less than 10% of the user base. So 10% would be 20 million users. Now, imagine you get 10% of the user base to pay 240. Like, that's a lot of money, $20 a month. Now, the other issue here is, do you actually feel that you need this cultural significance of being verified? I actually think the verification goes away, or the cultural significance of the verification goes away, because if you pay for it, you're not really this prime esteem figure that the Twitter elites have decided that you deserve to be, right? Because the verification went to a pay-to-play game. It just shows you that you have $240 that you're willing to spend on this. It doesn't show you that you're an actual person that has done something unique that deserves to be verified. And I honestly think that's okay, because the whole process of being verified and the social virtue signaling on Twitter, it already feels kind of It doesn't feel cool. It doesn't feel like unique. And so being verified with your real identity and paying for that per month, that probably makes more sense. Now, the final thing I'll say on this is that if they don't add more features other than verification, I don't think it will get that much adoption. There needs to be something else you can do other than being verified, because being verified is fine, but like, you need to like add more. At the end of it, like, do I care that much about a verification check? Not really. Not $20 a month is a lot of money at the end of the day. And it's like, if I'm paying $20 a month to just show a blue check, and I'm not getting, as I said before, the social signaling that I'm some elite person, because that's why people pay for verification checks right now. Like, under the table, they find a way to get verified because it makes you seem more elite. If that goes away, that entire cultural phenomenon goes away, because there is no more eliteness on Twitter, because it's pay to play, and there's no like esteemed verification of you because of who you are. It's just because you had a credit card with $240 on it. Then it's like, what's the real benefit of being verified at that point? Like, what do I actually get other than losing money if I don't get the social clout? Which means there have to be some new features. And I think Elon's going to figure out some new features. He also said, he tweeted last night, should I bring back Vine? The reason he said he should bring back Vine is because he then followed up with a tweet saying, what could we do to make it better than TikTok? So I think he's thinking about a lot of different product innovations that could be implemented within the platform that would establish Twitter as a credible place to go to find content and communicate with the world. The question is he going to be able to do it? The question is, how fast is he going to be able to do it? And the question also is, are people willing to pay for Twitter? I think I would end up paying $5 a month if I had to use Twitter. I don't know, $20 a month, but I would pay something. The question is, how much am I willing to pay, and what benefits am I going to get for paying that? So that's what's going on with Twitter. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Let me know your thoughts. Is Elon Musk going to change the trajectory of this company? We'll love to know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.